It's the final percent. The final percent.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Final Percent podcast. Quick little housekeeping. If you are not in our Facebook group, we're getting some really cool traction in our Facebook group. Please go and ask to be a member of the Facebook group. It's called the Final Percent Network. And if you want to network with other people who are like-minded, who enjoy just personal growth and just, cool people doing cool things, that is absolutely the group for you. So if you could run over there and just be a part of what we've got going on there, that would be incredible. I would really appreciate it. I'd love to see you over there. We're really active over there. So anyway, there's my big ask. One of the things I want to talk about is the idea of movement, the idea of taking action, the idea of being on the offensive. And honestly, this is going to kind of stem from, I do a live every Monday as well in our Facebook group. And this kind of stems from that idea because a lot of people are so reactionary. We are, I even sang this on the live, waiting on the world to change. We have to change. And it just occurs to me that so many people are looking for the quote unquote sign. Have you seen the funny thing where the guy's like holding up like, hey, you were looking for a sign? Well, this is your sign. Well, there's something inside of you right now that you've wanted to do. And it might be dealing with your business or your health or your relationship, as we call the complete person, the Infinity Club, if you will. There's 4 phases, that's your personal growth, your business growth, your vitality growth, and your community growth. And there's something in one of those 4 areas that is really needing to change, but it's going to start with you. And so if you've been looking for the sign, I'm telling you, this is your sign. Stop waiting for quote unquote it to happen. Stop waiting for it to reveal itself. Stop waiting for the inspiration. One of the things that I talked about earlier today was the idea between inspiration and aspiration. I just had this thought come to my head is as long as we're saying Asian words, so inspiration turns to aspiration through perspiration. That just happened. That's why that pause happened. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Should I say it? Should I not? Yeah, you know what? Let's just say it. But the reason why aspiration is so important is you aspire to become. You aspire to achieve. You aspire to be a part of something. You are aspiring. And a lot of people are just saying, I'm not feeling it. Oh, I don't really want to do it. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, I'm telling you, you really just got to be self-motivating, not self-limiting. One of the things we talk a lot about is, how tall does a tree grow? How tall does a tree grow? As tall as it can. Humans are the only life form that actively stunt their own growth because we get lazy, we get comfortable. And when we aspire to be more, is it scary? Yes. And the older we get, the scarier it gets. And I think, one of the rabbit holes I want to go down through this podcast that kind of came to light for me, and I wasn't ever going to say this. I wasn't ever going to say this. But when we went through our Wyoming retreat and we were talking about limiting beliefs, and I was really struggling with, because I knew what my limiting belief was. I knew what it was. But I didn't want to say it because everyone else was saying their limiting beliefs. One of the things that we did is, we went through this exercise where we get open enough and we share the truth of, what is our limiting belief. And then we write it out, we put it on a 2-liter bottle, we grab some guns and we shoot it. It's a Wyoming retreat. I mean, there's not a whole lot more Wyoming than, blow stuff up, right? Okay, so I knew that I was coming around. I was going to be the last person. I'm like, man, I don't want to say this out loud. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. And this is before we actually got to the shooting range, but I came clean with everyone. Um, I'm known as super positive and Mr. Motivation, and that's not entirely untrue with where I'm leading this discussion, but it's also not entirely true either, because quite frankly, I want to quit every day. I get so down on myself that speech wasn't good enough, or I'm not making a big enough impact, or what am I even doing, or what is it all for? I literally fight wanting to quit every single day. But that's where the growth is. And that's the reason I don't quit, is because I know how far I've come. I can try to get as objective as possible, but I think, I guarantee you there's times where Tony Robbins has absolutely wanted to quit. Grant Cardone has absolutely wanted to quit. But we don't talk about those moments. It's almost like we have to be Mr. Motivation all the time. And it's just not true. You need to get around a community that loves you, supports you, tells you the truth. But that's really what this boils down to, and that's why I just want to be really candid. Is one of the big things that I took away from my own retreat is the fact that, man, I know what I need to say. I know what I need to say. I need to tell everyone that I want to quit. I need to tell everybody that it's hard. I need to tell everyone that sometimes I don't feel like I'm good enough. Sometimes I get scared. And then there will be this story that happens. Oh, Greg, man, you had no idea, but like this little phrase came at the perfect time, and it saved me. It helped me. It pushed me forward, pulled me through, whatever the phrase is. And I'm like, man, if I had to think about the impact moment of that event, it would not have been that. And that's why you never know the example you're setting. You never know the impact you're making, because you could be changing someone's life by them being a better example to their family, and then the kid of that family goes and plays better on the playground. The kid of that family, because the dad or the mom knew you, now stops being a bully. And you're never going to know that impact happened. You're never going to be able to quantify the results of doing the right thing, of doing good, of keep going, of helping people, of choosing kindness, choosing perseverance, and keep your dream alive. And I know somewhere down deep inside me, I know that I've got this like little engine. I'm like the little engine that could. I think I can. 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 And, at some point, that's really the real Greg. Because when I get scared, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And that's who I am. And so when I am out of gas, when I am stressed out, when I'm tired, when I don't know if I am making the impact that I think I can, or I think I should, or whatever comes to mind, man, I keep going. And it pulls me back to this phrase that Jay-Z was talking about when he was, he and Beyonce were doing something, and they're like, man, you guys are technically billionaires now, and how did you do it? And they said, man, the only crazy thing we did was we didn't quit, because any rational person would have quit. With all the hatred that people put on us, with the attacks that we endured through the media, the lawsuits, and the this, that, and the other, we kept going. And for us to keep going, that was borderline insanity, and maybe not even borderline. And anybody who wants to help people and be in the public eye and forge a new path and pave a new path, you're going to run into opposition, because that path has not been paved. It hasn't been paved, so it's not going to be smooth. So of course it's going to be hard. But keep going. And so I want you to get on the offensive of your life. Don't be reactive in life. Don't be reactive to where you're like, maybe this, maybe that. Oh, if this person calls me, like, don't play the games like, I'm not calling this person back because they haven't looked at my Instagram or they haven't called me. They need to call me first. Oh, they double texted me. Man, I'll triple text you. If I care about you, quadruple text you. Whatever. Sometimes people are just busy. Sometimes people don't see the text. Like you see these memes that are very isolationist. If someone doesn't if they ask you to be there last minute, don't show up. Maybe they just forgot, and they really do want you there, and maybe something else happened. But living your life by like all these weird rules that keep you isolated is not the way to go. So take the initiative, take action, and don't be reactionary. Don't be reactionary. And that's why, I just wanted to, that was still fresh on my brain. I wanted to bring that up, but I also wanted to let everyone know, like, even though I get super excited, I've got all this energy, I'm not immune to wanting to quit, but I keep going. So my big message today is keep going. Go the final percent. It's not about what you start. It's about what you finish. So keep going. I appreciate you. Thanks for listening to the Final Percent podcast. And maybe my other ask, join the Facebook group, but share the podcast. Share it with one of your friends. Text this podcast to one of your friends that maybe needs the message, keep going. So thank you guys so much. You're awesome. I appreciate you. And just keep going. This has been the Final Percent.
It's the final percent. The final percent.